heard, but most importantly, being valued. And as a result, working together with my team, Amanda, who's here, Lila Galindo, and then the young authors here, Damaris is on his way. We also had two other young authors, Kayet and Quano, contributed to this book.
Who is the young author?
So we have.
I'm Devontae Dudley.
Devontae.
My name is Darius Mathis.
What is Darius?
Darius Mathis.
Okay.
My name is Davion Dudley.
And what I want to say, what I love about what you did is, this is a conversation. And so questions come about throughout us, me asking the young brothers these questions. I'm definitely open to y'all trying to be like, hey, this is on my brain. Because I know I was one of those students in school where I was like, I need to ask before I forgot. And so I want y'all to know that they're welcome, they're open, and especially ask him the most questions.
Him for sure.
Specifically him.
Specifically him.
This one right here. No.
You got to sue them.
But no, and so when it comes down to Altspace, I shared a little bit about RP, but when it comes to Altspace, we were founded in 2019, became official non-for-profit in 2020. Myself and John Bill, both practicing artists, but for us it was like, how do we create a vehicle for community growth and development? And so we built it off this premise of art, faith, and community, to shift the narrative around this overall narrative of the Austin community that we didn't agree with. We felt like there was a lot of mislabeling. We felt like there was a disservice that was taking place. And so how could we address this collectively? And unfortunately, John did pass away in 2022. And so we've been really shifting around, continuing his legacy through the work that we're doing. And again, that extends through the people that are here in this room, right? Which has been a blessing and challenging at times, but we're still here. We're still continuing to grow and learn who we are as an organization, facing all these crazy challenges of running an organization, but doing it true to who we are. Because there are many challenges of running an organization, especially as a young black male, too, in this climate. When we think about what's going on politically, socially, there's a lot happening. And so here we are today, recognizing the importance and the value of making sure we continue to pass along what we've learned, what we've gained. Myself as an executive director, but also as a collaborator, because this has been a true collaboration. And so I'm gonna stop speaking about myself. What I want to do is kind of set the tone with a video. We were blessed to receive a grant from the Chicago Community Trust, the Safe and Peaceful grant, which contributed towards funding the program. So I'm gonna share that video, and then we're gonna jump into the conversation. Cool? All right. And I'm gonna let y'all know that conversation gonna start with y'all. We gotta learn. We gotta know who in the room.
Yeah.
Y'all might be some spies or something. We don't know.
You flip your camera on her. Put that video on this one. I got you. Damn, put it back right there.
Sorry, I'm not a tech guy. This is not my show. I ain't got no popcorn. We got chips though.
Yeah.
Right now, the Austin neighborhood, and that's where Altspace and Happy Return, Redemptive Plastic, is our base cohort. We got our own individual name called the Plastic Patrol, and we have our own vests and stuff like that, so we Plastic Patrol. But Redemptive Plastic itself is made up from two organizations with Happy Return Studio and Altspace Chicago, and then two collaborated into, you feel, make something that a lot of people didn't actually see.
It all started with Roots of Fruit. I was with Mr. Aisha and all of them. So like,
we was outside doing an event, and we seen Jordan one day riding his bike, and he stopped and talked over us, and we got a good bond off that. We trying to shift the whole wide world, so it's a nationwide project right now, and we want to recycle as much plastic as possible to repurpose the plastic, because it's getting into our seas, and that's messing up a lot of our food sources, and also, that's bad, especially when we burn plastic in the wrong way. It's causing carbon emissions to go in the air and polluting our air, and that could end human existence.
I got involved with different scientists, primarily by my brother. I seen him and everything he was doing, engaging. He kept coming home talking about all the different things and basically everything. So I started to, get a little intel on it, started to realize that it's bigger than what it looked like.
And taking plastic and using actual recycled plastic in the neighborhoods, from detergent bottles all the way to Pactex and different type of things of that nature. If you think about it, we get these kids on the streets do all of this, we keeping their hands tied up to a lot of creative stuff that's gonna grow their mindset, because we gotta grow mindsets to stop the violence. It's a simple idea of redemption, right? We're looking at using these single-use plastic products that are just circulating via the earth, also looking at how we can bring back this value, not only to this, this plastic that's used one time, but also to the community, right? We talk a lot about that. What does that mean? So what that means is being able to recognize the value of these communities and making sure that we're providing resources and accessibility to be able to truly redeem them through and through.
Second, that it's just giving people opportunities to do things that they may have not had access to. Like, where do you find plastic injection molding tools outside factories? Like, and where does that knowledge come from? And the ability to kind of pass that on and give opportunities to redeem it here in the neighborhood, and not wait for somebody else to come around and do it. Like, it's more of just taking the initiative and showing like self-motivation and inspiring. Hey, we're not waiting around. We're trying to do this. And it's not always perfect, and we've learned in midair. We're building the plane midair, that we talk about a lot, but we're doing it.
All right. I think I lost the remote, y'all. Y'all gonna have to kick me out. Okay.
Easy spot.
Why you flip the camera back?
So,
Flip.
as I mentioned before, we're gonna start this conversation off right with who is in the room. And so, just share one thing, your name, and where are you from in the city? Where do you go to in the city? Where's a place that you enjoy in Chicago?
Will we enjoy?
Yeah, where you be going to hang out?
Go kick spot at.
Well, I go to somewhere like Navy Pier to the movies.
Yeah.
Somewhere like that.
And what's your name?
Deborah.
Deborah, okay.
Deborah. Deborah. Not Ebra.
Yes, please, thank you.
Deborah,
With
Deborah.
the H, don't forget the H.
Thank you for being here, Miss Deborah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
You're welcome. Glad to meet you all.
Likewise.
Who's next?
My name's Danielle. I stayed a little bit north of here. I spend a lot of time just outside with my dogs, so that's kind of where I'm the happiest.
What kind of dogs we got? We got ankle biters, or we got massive.
they're American bullies, so
Bullies.
yeah.
I don't even know what that is, baby.
They're it's the fancy way of having
Small
a pit bull,
dog.
but they won't from Bannock.
Pit bulls, so they want to run from, basically.
Well, they're scared of you, so,
Oh.
like me, they're scared of people,
Oh, right.
big babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hanging out outside with them, so.
Okay, okay.
Bullies, something else.
Good evening,
Good evening,
everyone. I'm Veronica. So, I'm a lifelong Austin resident.
Yeah.
Lifelong, I
Yeah.
love Austin, so I like recycling. My recycling come every Monday.
Every Monday,
Yes,
Oh,
the
You know
blue
what?
situation.
yes. I kinda got discouraged because they said they don't separate the trash from the recycling. I kinda got discouraged. So I
I
did.
thought they did though.
They
Somebody,
should've. They
but
definitely
somebody
should've.
said they don't do that. So I'm not sure they all go one place now, so I don't know how true that is. But I like recycling, I do that every week, but I see some neighbors, they use the blue recycle and put trash in. Everybody not passionate about recycling.
Word.
So I spend a lot of time, you know, in my neighborhood with my family. I like the library so much, I got a job at the library.
Wow.
So the library is a resource center, so I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad you all came to share the knowledge. And I like one part in that video. In order for it to grow, you have to like stop the violence, something like that. That really touched my heart. Yeah, that was really good. I
Yeah,
like
that's
the
this
violence.
philosopher guy
Yeah,
right
that was good.
there.
I like that.
Dr. Mathis.
Yeah, Dr. Matt.
That touched my heart right there.
That's a real one though. I'm glad you noticed that and you pointed that out because that's something we actually be trying to hone in when we thinking about what we doing and allowing to enable on a daily basis and figuring out how can we grow our mindset, grow the things that we touching on a daily basis, how can we grow each other so that our mindset can start to grow. Once we start to fill these voids and replace this time with different things, it allows us to cause diversion then, you know, waiting on something to happen to create proactive diversion and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a learning process, and we appreciate you doing that, and we appreciate y'all for being here.
Of course. Who else is in the room?
Yeah, the rest of y'all.
Yeah.
These YNs with these dreads.
My name is Travis Boyd, and stuff I like to do now, really, just listen to music.
Word.
Yeah.
Who you listening to? Beyonce or?
Or me.
No?
I'm listening to right now, my little brother in the back.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
wonder he said him, huh?
Yeah.
Hello.
Them two. And probably, I'm gonna say, Rod.
Right.
Rob, yeah, Rob. What's up, my guy? How you doing?
You know, listen. Yeah. Who else is in the room? Tell us your name and then where you be at as well. In
Yeah.
Chicago, where do you enjoy your time in the city?
My name is Michael. I be everywhere. I love Chicago. I be everywhere.
You be outside.
Your baby be having you everywhere, I'm sure.
Yeah,
All the
no
parts. All the parts.
Yeah, well.
She definitely got me everywhere. How y'all day going though today?
It's a great, beautiful day, bro. We got some rain, but gotta thank the man upstairs for everything, bro.
That's
Sure,
good.
yeah, bro.
Every day is a good day.
Come on now. Come
What
on.
you say, right? Every day is a good day.
It's on me.
It's on Amanda, actually.
Oh, my phone.
Go ahead,
Hi,
man.
I'm Amanda. Where do I like to be in the city? I suppose I like to be where there's more like open land and trees than buildings. I don't wanna see buildings 360, yeah.
Nature.
I'd rather be out of the city, for being honest, I like nature, but I like to be in the little pockets in the city that have more nature.
So are you a fan of Chinatown?
Chinatown, I
Yeah.
don't make my way over into Chinatown too much.
You don't?
The park with the Tom.
Yeah,
I'm
main
not
time, yeah,
surprised.
Chinatown, they
I've
I've
been
never
there.
been. I
They
got,
got
I
a lot
heard
of
about
nature
it.
over
Yes,
there.
please go.
There's a lot of nature over there.
Yeah, I think I do it.
I just don't like to hear cars in my nature, so.
Heard on that, heard on that, heard on that.
Probably don't belong in the city, but anyway, okay,
My name Nazir. I'm really like an inside house type of person. Like I did all my fun when I was like 16, 15. Yeah, but like,
Stay home with the kids.
yeah, but like
He's an
now,
old soul, that's all.
yeah, but now like if I do go somewhere, like I like going to the suburbs, like 'cause it's more quieter down there.
Heard.
And then, like she said, there's much more land down there, so it's like a cool vibe to have like a picnic, like a little park, have a little picnic.
Intimate, eh?
So that's all I
Hey,
like.
take notes, everybody.
you
Take
hear
notes.
birds and wind, it's kinda nice.
I heard about that, bro. Like that, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Isaiah, smooth criminal.
Alright, guys, my name KP. I'll be if I ain't at hell, I'm at work. Like I got 2 jobs, and if I ain't at neither one of my jobs, I'm at home sleep. Cause on the time.
What do you like going to like the city though?
Oh, I like going to in the city, nowhere, I don't really like being in the city, I be mainly in the suburbs with my girlfriend, cause like the city is kind of, the city is kind of.
He be cheating, y'all. He be cheating.
I don't pick up my phone for them, so they believe I be asleep, but I be in the burbs with my girlfriend, cause the city ain't safe, there's a lot of shoes and stuff, I don't.
You're very close to the suburbs, you guys, Austin, realize that, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like
15 minutes, 20 minutes,
it's like
get
a
out there.
3-minute drive to the suburbs.
Nice.
I don't really be out here.
Like Oak Park, Forest Park, and Oak Park.
Like Naperville.
Yeah.
Boy, what? What you doing out there?
You got a girlfriend. She crazy. Got a girlfriend out there.
He crazy.
Alright, we got one more.
Shoot off.
My name is Rashawn, and I like to sometimes walk around in the sundown cities in the morning. Yeah.
Y'all not trying to be in the city, man.
Wait, what?
You said that right.
Wait, what?
You said sundown city.
Yeah.
Wait, also, Oak Park
Oak Park is a sundown city.
No.
No.
What?
They probably park at lights in there.
It probably was. And it probably still is.
What you mean by sundown, man?
What you mean by that? It get dark?
Yeah, it's just a lot of darkness.
Nah, sundown cities are like basically like slavery.
Yeah.
Racist townships.
In like certain like parts certain places, after the sun went down, black people weren't supposed to be found or seen there.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
it's
different now.
too. Yeah, it's different now, but.
That's what I said. Oak Park probably does have that history of being a sundown
Oh,
town.
of course.
At one point, for sure. Either way, man, I'm grateful for y'all all sharing what y'all enjoy doing in the city. You know, these things are not to be taken for granted, you know. Whether it's being with our girlfriend in Naperville, or being in a house, taking our kids to the park, or being in nature, whether it's being with our dogs, you know, these things are all important. And so when we talk about environmental justice, when we talk about, you know, this global issue, we need to recognize the importance of everybody's voice and their lived experiences. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we overlook these subtleties of just what people enjoy in life. And I think that is a problem, right? It's like we don't speak to what gives us joy, what leads to peace, because if we start from there, then hopefully what that could do is alleviate some of the challenges of which we face. You know, so what we're talking about today is how do we learn to sit on those challenges? You know, not from my perspective, but from our authors' perspectives. Not only about environmental justice, but also personally. You know, some of the ways in which they have learned to navigate some of their challenges that they face, but also how to continue to live and thrive in their own community, but pushing that into other communities as well. And so I want to give a round of applause for our authors here today. So I want to start us off with, can each of you say your name and how you got involved with the Plastic Patrol? Where we start?
Well, I'm gonna take it first. I want to do it.
My name's Davion, and I created All Space. I was like originally
He's joking?
Yeah.
Nah,
He
for
said he
real.
created it.
He did. Man,
Nah,
yeah.
on a serious note though, I got into All Space because of him. So this is my brother. He's been with it.
At the end.
Just so I got in here.
And my biological brother.
He said he's your biological brother.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He was coming home telling me to get involved because I wasn't doing
He
nothing.
wasn't doing anything.
So I would ask him about it. He would tell me like, we do this, but we also revolve around like the community. So we do a lot of different works. So we did a lot of different things, but he was showing me what we was originally doing. And I got intrigued and I took the
Do
next
you
step.
find that him telling you to get involved in your community, did that make a difference? Did that really
hold on, you getting into some of my questions now. Now I gotta know. I'm just kidding.
I'm just, you know, did you see the importance in that?
I seen it a little bit, but I had to see with my own eyes actually what was going on in order for me to actually realize that you could be a part of something bigger and you could be a change.
For real. And most of the time we come back to our experiences also. We gotta get exposed and get experience in these different fields to be able to say that even if I like it or if I don't like it, but we have to actually be able to try it in order to, you feel, be able to feel, be able to have some type of say-so or leverage to say what it isn't for me specifically. But most of the time, we have a closed mind when it comes down to new things and speaking outside of our comfort zone. So just being able to just step out on faith on something that I don't know about and being able to just learn about it and actually get something that's, you feel me, that can propel us to something forward, something better. That's very appreciative of, very appreciative.
Like you said, step outside your comfort zone, but you have to.
We have to, we gotta be good.
There's nothing wrong with trying something, even if you don't like it. You might find something in there that you do like and you're well at it, okay? You probably know, I'm not gonna like this. I'm not gonna. Just like the whole idea about recycling. Sure, I recycle, but just that, you know, because I see so much waste, and it is affecting the environment. And when you think about it, this stuff is going to the water. We're drinking a lot of this plastic is in our, you know, it's in our food supply, our water supply, and you do want, you know, you are, just like I had, just like I had, you know, my daughter, I said, I need a new iron. They want to buy one. So I said, what do you think if I ask somebody at the job, do they got an old iron that they don't need? Oh, Mom, that's embarrassing. Don't do that. I said, well, if they're not using it, I don't want to buy another one you know, but she talked me out of it. But I'm just, you know, I mean, what's wrong with it? You got stuff around, somebody can need it, you know, yeah, you can have it. Instead of somebody going out just purchasing things, and I just felt it was, you know, I said somebody had one, I can use it.
That's an important thing also, especially with that comfort thing, because in order for us to grow, we have to step outside of our comfort zone. You have to be able to look at those different things so that we can be able to see what we need to learn from, what do we need to improve on, and what are we already good at. But that comfort zone usually is the most time where we're not able to see it because we're sitting in there. And then on another aspect, even like going towards the story that you were just saying about the iron and all that, a lot of times it comes down to pride and ego. And we allow those things to sway us or control how we view our perspective about life or even the things that we deal with type of thing. So being able to just stay connected and grounded with reality about what I want and you feel me, what I want spiritually, physically, financially, whatever that means, and then continuously works towards it to break those incremental steps down. So it's a learning process. Never stop learning, and you gotta embrace these things. You gotta embrace the bigs, you gotta embrace the highs, you gotta embrace the lows, you gotta embrace the things that you don't want to. You gotta embrace these things. You gotta embrace the bigs, you gotta embrace the highs, you gotta embrace the lows, you gotta embrace the things that you don't want to. You gotta do
So once he gave you the green light, the door was open, I wanted to come check out these experiences. I fell in love with it because what we were doing at first, because I always used to do things such as origami, and that's paper folding. And I was doing that for countless of hours. Like I'll spend full days after school, that's just me. I do that till I fall asleep. And it just he opened my door to like a different type of creator, because I normally create things digitally because I'm a digital creator. I am a videographer. I shot over 500 plus music videos in Chicago. I also shoot lots of event videos and funerals as well. But yeah, that's how I really got off. And even with that skill set, I met him prior to this program, because around 5 to 6 years ago, we were at Austin Town Hall around the street, and he had his camera, and I was interested in cameras, and that's when I kind of started to work when I was 15. I'm 21 now, and he had this camera, I seen him with it. I was like, hey, can I take some pictures with it? He was like, yeah, sure. So he gave me the opportunity to be creative, you feel me? Gave that youth the opportunity. And it just went from there. It just gave me it opened my eyes like, oh man, like, I could do this. Like, other people out here doing it, and it just made me just take off from there. And back then, when I first met him, I had like 2-3 clients. But now I got a couple hundred clients now. Come on with it.
Amazing. For sure. My bad, John. That was one of our members. Stranded his comments up, something like that. I think initially I got involved with All Space, which is Jordan as an individual within itself. What he was talking about, we was doing different events in the neighborhood in Austin, and just trying to figure out how can we create different initiatives and alternatives to what it is already in the neighborhood. So as we was doing that with Roots of Fruit and ASAP, Jordan had came out to one of our events as he was just scrolling through the neighborhood, and that's how we all met with one another. And through that, we fellowship with one another, and we just forged a relationship. Continuing fast forward down the line, he always was like that influencer, that big brother for us, that person that was able to bridge that gap for us with a lot of different things, especially by him being able to speak through lived experiences and things that he's been doing, the things that he's experienced and done. So throughout that, a lot of the times he was creating safe spaces around St. Lucas, and he was doing different things for us to be able to come in and, intergenerate a little bit, fellowship a little bit. And when they created the initiative Redemptive Plastic, I was a part of the first cohort, and that's when I first introduced to recycling different plastics, the different types of plastic, what we can do with it, how we consuming it, how we are being affected by it. And those different type of things, it just intrigued me to want to know more about it. What can I do with it? How can I do this on my own time type of thing? So that's how I just wanted to, tap in with it a little bit more, do my own little research. And as we continue to keep doing that, we did multiple cohorts, and I was a part of multiple of them. And as we came full circle, now we here today. So appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate All Space. Appreciate John Hill. And we're going to another level, y'all.
And so we're talking about how you guys got a part of Redemptive Plastics, so that it leads to the question of what is Redemptive Plastics to you? Some of our audience members are, we watched the video, but what is it?
What is Redemptive Plastics to us? Redemptive Plastics to me, I think initially I just start off with more of the word redemption. Within itself, it's just the art of identifying, understanding what something means, what value does it hold, and not only just boxing it in, but also realizing what can it be, what is it, or what wills, like what's the opportunity or maybe the possibilities coming from these things. So just learning and identifying what this is and what it means for me, that I can move with these things, not be so consumed by it. So just learning to not just single use everything, learning what can I reuse certain things in my personal life and my professional life, just learning how to, bridge that gap a little bit. So Redemptive Plastic was just simply taking something individually and identifying and wondering what can I do more with it, and I don't have to just, single use type of things. That's redemption for me.
Yeah, so what Redemptive Plastic is to me, it's definitely a family, it's an organization that cares for the community, not just the community. I feel like they care for the world just because they're working on something that can be scalable to help the whole world. So it's a community that cares about giving a second chance and giving life just a new purpose and just changing the ecosystem. That's what Redemptive Plastic is.
That's good.
I can agree with both. More than just plastic-based organizations, more like community-led, family, just everything all ties in together. To me, All Space, Redemptive Plastic is it's a family who wants to help everyone be connected into one family. We're trying to connect everybody, be happy together, start awesome.
so as a result of, you know, being a part of the cohorts, you know, coming to understand what redemptive plastics is, you know, you guys are part of birthing, but like creating Lake Stool. And so what inspired the title, you know, this experience that you guys were able to just put into this binding of this book? And then I'll ask the second question. How did it even become the Lake Stool? Like that title, and like what was that process like for y'all?
I know for sure it was more about trial and error. Like before we even came with the name, it was more about just trial and error with us just trying to be creative, learning about the wood and the things that we was putting together. So we were just trying to figure out like how do we want to go about it by building something out of this different things. So eventually we came out with the stool, and as like we created the stool, one of our other brothers, Quano, who we mentioned earlier, like he said, he real simple, he be tweaking. That's my boy. That's my boy, he be tweaking. But he came up with the name Lake Stool by us being a few blocks west just of Central Lake. And that's where we grew up at, right over there by Central Lake. That's Austin Town Hall. And it just played a big part of what we was creating and what we trying to create type of thing. So it is all tied in with the Lake Stool and how we were just trying to figure it out as we was, like Cody said in the video, we was building a plane and flying there at the same time. So it just fit at the same time with what we were trying to do. So we liked it and we ran with it. So that's show.
With that name, Lake Stool, it came about, man, definitely just like I said, with Quando, he came up with the name. He was one of the innovators of that name.
For sure.
And really, it was mainly because we was working on a project to the point where we only had molds on, just molds, that's it. We didn't have like what we can use these molds to make. We only just had like, okay, we got structures, that's it. What can we turn these structures into? So it was, that the name, it wasn't even a collective effort. It literally was just Quando who came up with that.
Really did that. That boy quick on his toes, yeah. Yeah, that's my boy. It came from my boy Quando, but as we continued to do this, we figured out like, what does it mean for us? What does it mean for the community? What does it mean to redeem? What does it mean to, you feel me, take plastic and create art out of it? So, you know, just continue to learn and continue to build off of these things as we go.
And so, you know, the book is about learning how to sit on your own problems, but, you know, before becoming a part of the cohort and writing the book, you know, what was your habits or ways of using plastic, and how did your view of plastic change after becoming a part of the cohort? And I can start with you.
Yes, sir.
I was a regular consumer, I ain't gonna lie. In my hand and out my hand, no matter where I was at. Breathe, out the car. Gone. It was real though, like, but ever since the program, I changed. Like, I haven't lived, to be honest, in years. That's just off the strength that I'm a part of this program. Now, I can say it changed. What changed my view on it was that I did realize that these small contributions I am doing is actually helping. Because certain places I don't really see that much trash no more, but that's not because I don't throw it, that may be because people probably being aware now. Because it is getting more to a point where plastic is getting more recognized globally, and everybody is coming to a point where they're like, all right, it needs to change. But for me personally, I just had to realize, like, okay, even though we can't get everybody to do it, we can start with you.
Exactly.
Maybe everybody can struggle on.
Well, Mike Jackson say, I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Oh, my homie. Nah, for real though. That's real talk. Go ahead, bro.
That's real talk. So, my experience with just being a plastic consumer, starting off my journey, I wouldn't say I was in my hand, and I wasn't that type of person. I was probably in my hand, in my pocket. So I get home and I empty out my pocket. I'm like, oh, this trash in my pocket, this plastic. I'm like, okay, that's still a problem. And then it's like, but then I'm just dumping it right in the garbage. So now it's like, now it's definitely one-use plastic. So it made me switch up my entire mindset to the point where even when I used to like throw my apple cores on the ground, I stopped throwing them on the ground. I started putting them in the grass because I'm like, okay, this is compost instead of like, let's do something with it. So it just made me just start.
We got random apple trees just all throughout Chicago right now.
You never know.
That boy planted seeds unintentionally. Unintentionally. For real. Yeah, that's love, man. I think I was in the boat as them also, like especially with the not recycling, not, you feel me, picking plastic up type of thing, because I ain't know no better, and I wasn't educated either. So especially like just a main thing for me was knowing that it's 7 main types of plastic. I mean, there's more, but there's 7 main types of plastic that we use on a daily basis within like the plastic family type of thing. So as I continue to get educated on it, it just changed my perception on the thing. And that's the thing I've been saying a lot lately. Also, your perception eventually change your reality, a lot of type of things. So like before all this different thing, I wasn't thinking about where's plastic going, where it's coming from, or what we doing, or even how I'm consuming or how am I being consumed type of thing. It was just more about, you know, just my physical tricks and what I'm doing, where I'm trying to go type of thing. So more we got educated and did this work and be like, yeah, you need to be a little bit more conscious and aware of what you're doing and what you're not doing.
So it's really interesting because a lot of what you guys are speaking to is about yourself. You know, for this year, for our organization's focus, you know, we were really paying attention to the cyclical nature of self, community, and environment. And so when it comes down to ourselves, with you all, how's this experience helped you to deal with your own problems in life after kind of seeing these metaphors and these connections with shifting your decision making around plastic? How's it shaped your decision making within your own community or just in your own life in general?
I can start with like the book, like the life schools, sit on your problems. Like back then when we came up with the title, when you did have a problem and you just let it go, like forget about it or just say, all right, it was this, that's really unhealthy and you're not getting that done. So once we came, like sit on your problems, I really took that and sat with it because like you really have to sit on your problem, figure out why you feel this way, why that's happening, and why everything's going on. And then you use that, and then you can actually get like a resolution or answer on how you feel and what's really happening. But I use that as my like example in everyday life and decision making. So if I need to come in and I need to be late, why am I late? Is it important? And things of that nature, but it's all around my mindset. And that's what I took from being RP itself.
Real talk. Mentality though, man. That's the real thing. The way we look at things, the way we respond, even the way we, you know, react to things, play a big part in who we are and speaks to it too. So that's real talk. I love that. Love that. Next question.
Yeah, I was just asking how your experience helped you to deal with your own problems that you know, maybe make some correlations with how you responded to plastic, but what does that look like in your community in terms of how you're seeing it and experiencing it or your own personal life?
That's a good question, bro. That's a good question, bro. I think personally, even as a community, I didn't realize that we only deal with quick fixes. We're not looking at the root of our problems. We're only looking at how can we just put a Band-Aid over things and just, you know, redirect certain things instead of dealing with why is things the way it is or why are we thinking this way or, you feel me, the mentality of a lot of things. So within this thing, I just learned more about like you identifying and understanding what things mean to not only you but to the people around you and getting a grip about that and moving with how you feel about that, moving with those emotions instead of being consumed and propelled by your emotions to make decisions or things of that nature type of thing. So in between that, I just learned more about, just a little bit more emotional intelligence and being able to be aware of how I feel and why am I feeling certain type of ways. So within that, we just learn how to move with these things and deal with them versus allowing them to consume us and consume my surroundings. It has made me want to communicate and advocate a little bit more, especially knowing that us as people a lot of times are uneducated on the things that we are doing and the things that we are not doing. So we're not knowing how we are affected by these things or even like where these things could lead to, like a trajectory type of thing. But just being able to bridge those gaps and connect the dots with people that don't know any better. You feel me? It gives like a different sense of like community, faith, and self also, you feel me? Because now we're getting educated, we fellowshipping with one another and we're taking the time to understand what it is and what it ain't. So our PJ just kind of embraced me to not only just be authentically me, but want to do more, to want to know more, to want to better my community type of thing. So that's why I'm at with it for sure.
Yeah. It's really interesting because as you're speaking, we're talking about community, we're talking about self. I do want to recognize all the folks who were part of RP. If y'all can stand up.
Real talk. My boys.
What's really cool is that we're talking about community and growth, like this has been incremental, and we've had multiple cohorts, but it stemmed from relationships, and that's how we're able to even have, where we are, be a reality. It's through those trusting in each other and saying, hey man, like you should check this out. And as a result, these young brothers have all served a major role and purpose within the development and growth of this organization, which has been a blessing and Amanda as well. And so, again, it starts with these small seeds, but we have to water those seeds, but it starts with us planting them, and recognizing the growth is gonna happen in its own timing. And like this is a reflection of that in this very room right now that we're sitting in, that we're here in. So yeah,
brought these guys on here and put you on.
They brought me in.
Tell you where it makes
They opened up the door for me to come and work alongside them in their community.
Right, you reopen that same door right back to us.
Good talk.
It gave us another opportunity to see life in a different way. We never, everybody try to be creative, but everybody never thought about being creative in a way of saving the community in the same way. Like use your creativity to save the world. We never thought of it in that way. We just thought to use our creativity for ourselves or for others. You feel me? So you definitely gave us that door to see the world in a different way, getting us to understand that plastic ain't just plastic. It's actually something that you can use.
Art. Oh, bro.
Yeah,
That's
it's a
real
shit form of art.
And that's I think that brings me back to another point also. Get a quote that I learned from his late partner, John Field, co-founder of Allspace, where he always was saying like everybody in the park, everybody has a specific part that only that park can play type of thing. So as us continuing to learn more about ourselves, and not only ourselves, about each other as a community, how can we help and how can we embrace each other? We learn to own our position. We learn our position. We learn what can we do. We learn what we need to, strengthen ourselves in, and where can we ask for help and type of thing. So as we continue to grow and mentally, physically, financially, all of those different things, we understand what part we are playing in this big puzzle piece. What piece can we move? How can we touch the next person, reach one and teach one, especially with that seed sowing. And that's just a faith thing, especially with that being one of our 3 pillars, that you just gotta have faith that the seeds that you are planting are going to grow. You just continue to consistently water them, consistently be proactive about these seeds, and then eventually they'll grow. And you did your part. That's all we can ask for.
You're all playing a part.
Come on now. Come on now.
And so, the last question about, is about the environment. It's important for us to understand that we're stewards of our environment. And now that you guys have learned, what are the things that are affecting the quality of our environments? What are some of the things that you're doing, outside of the program to share with other people, or outside of the book, just in your own life that you've been able to say, hey, like, we can do this different when it comes to environmental justice?
I would say, creatively, I've been taking the time out to just make content as far as like, that have a meaning, that have a strong meaning to like, reach an audience that's gonna let them know about like what's going on within the organization. So, I feel like that's one way outside the organization and within it that I kind of like been bringing, opening eyes in to see what's going on is with my visual power as far as like making videos and having video production. That's one way.
That's dope for sure. I think one thing for me would be just fellowship. I mean, it's one thing to just have a relationship with somebody or just have a conversation and then y'all just feed off each other energy or whatnot. But I think nowadays I'm try to be more intentional with my fellowship. I want you to feel seen. I want to feel seen. I want us to communicate with each other. I want us to be able to hear each other, and not only hear each other, but see each other. So within fellowship, and I'm just understanding that a lot of things that we do and receive usually be individualized. We feel like we got to do everything by ourselves, or we don't have this community around us, so that we have to do everything alone. So we, you feel me, get, I guess, put in survival mode versus, you know, being able to just work together and come together as a team and figure out how we can do these things as a whole. So within that, I guess, like, just the fellowship part helped me to collaborate more, helped me to understand people more, helped me, you know, get the agendas down so that we can figure out how we all come under an umbrella and get an individual goal type of thing. But within that, it just helps the ecosystem, because I'll be feeling like a lot of times we take bricks from corners just to build our own. You feel me? If you get the analogy, instead of, you feel me, figure out ways that we can build bricks together and spread these out so that we can all have our own brick house, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of times we take it from each other just to build our own versus coming together to build up. That's one type of thing. So, fellowship.
Not being selfish.
Yeah, man. With the ego, that pride, let's get that out the way. Let's figure out, get us come to a common understanding. If we just not on the same plane, that's just okay. But we had a communication as adults to understand where we are and what we want to do with this thing.
True.
That's why.
Hey, John.
Big remnants.
Hey, John.
Big remnants.
I would say what I've been doing to contribute to environmental justice is, like I said, I try my hardest to help like the kids in my neighborhood steer away from what's in their face. So obviously what's in their face is gang violence, just getting girls and everything. I try my best to put them on to stuff like this. Like when we go to us town halls, who can get bucket, it be kids up there. And sometimes they already be like having a mindset of, and I try to, my heart is to like steer away from like, nah, you ain't got to do that. Like what you finna do? They, okay, I'm finna go outside with this, that, and third. I'm like, nah, you should come check this out with me. Like, even though if I don't got time or not, I still be like, trying to put that hand out. And it don't be much, but I be giving the kids money just to let them know that
I ain't received a dime.
Give me a Let me hold some, cuz.
I be giving them money because it's like, look, when I was coming up, I want that person, like, when they be coming up, like, hey, you got $1, you got. I would have wanted that person because we used to be in the town hall, I had people for them dollars. And I would want somebody, and that just like, I would have felt like, oh yeah, I got people up there that I can rely on. Just like how if I feel like I need something, I come to y'all, I come join. I feel like the kids, we should be them people to serve kids.
Man, that's real talk. No, that's a real one though, being able to. I think, matter of fact, that's great that you just said that, because another thing that he also has taught us, and like especially going through the cohorts, we learned a lot about self-sufficiency and learning how to use our hand, use our mind for more than the co-rack. Well, hat rack, that's what my grandma be saying. But a point that he was teaching us with being more solution-based and finding a why before anything when we trying to solve a problem, just understanding that why, and then you can create the how and the what off of that. So now you being able to think solution-based and bring solutions to the table rather than just always have a problem or just gossiping about that thing. But the point I was making was that he gave us that this framework about our community and the I don't know what word I'm looking for, but the people that we hang around and just finding that balance between 33, and 33% being the generation younger than you, sowing them seeds for the younger generation and the kids. 33, you know, our peers, which is all of us, we all together here together today, and 33% being people that's older than you or somebody that you can learn from, take from type of thing. So just finding that balance between your surroundings and your community, and you learn from it and continue to keep it fresh. Appreciate that, my boy. For sure.
So now we're on the portion where we're talking about like reflection. You know, the book is about learning to sit on your problem. You talk about environment, you talk about community. You know, what was one of the things that you had to overcome, or one of the challenges that you were facing through the cohort that you felt equipped to be able to navigate through?
I don't know if y'all can tell, but I still got trouble speaking out loud. So, it feels good, a little hard.
Yeah, for that.
You.
He'll
give you the courage to say what you need to say.
Come on, boy.
Proud of you.
I'll say what it was. But in using the tools right, I feel like I was using them dangerously.
That's crazy.
You had to learn, didn't
Don't use no drill around this. No, for real. I think we was equipped with a lot of different knowledge, a lot of different skills, especially like when I was just saying about the self-sufficiency of being able to use our hands and our mind to be able to do different things. We were building workbenches, building different materials that we were actually going to utilize as we was going through the redemptive plastic process. But I just think like it's been equipping us with different skills and things to prepare us for adulthood and for the things that we're going to go to. But I think, you know, in the Bible it say like, knowledge and faith without practice, then it becomes unusable, unreliable, all those different things. But I guess throughout all this time, I've been learning that, yeah, we learn a lot of things and we have a lot of things, but how we utilize more, where we put these things matter more, just as much more. Because it means even if we learn all these things, not doing anything with it or using it for the wrong reason, it becomes, you know, negative to the community, for real. So just.
But how did you all, problems in the community that we're facing?
Yeah.
Young black men face, how did you all avoid it?
How do we avoid it? I think a big thing.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
That's a
it
great
is.
question.
Because for everybody, it's a different, go ahead, Lil thing.
I can answer that one for him. His mama was on him. And his dad, for Darius.
Yeah.
So we were there. We were
That
both
makes
there.
that makes a big difference.
For me, to be honest, if you're not involved, you're actually good.
If I say that again,
If you're not involved,
it's
it's like,
something you mean positive, or
if you're not involved, it's something.
you would get into something.
Yeah.
Repeat your question, please.
It's like, I was like, if you're not involved within the negativity, you really won't get dragged in unless you're trying to. Like, all you gotta do is stay away from it, and you'll be okay. That's how I feel. But it's also like wrong place, wrong time type thing. But majority of the time, if you're not trying to get involved and you stay away from it, you'll be okay. Like, really.
You do have to pick your poison a lot in this game, like this game that you're saying about durability, but you also have to be aware of what's going on and what's not. So you feel me? If it's not the type of time or even the life you live, why even portray that type of image or even be in those type of environments type of thing? Sometimes it's inevitable and sometimes you're just born into these things. So learning, like, what am I enabling, what am I allowing on my daily basis, being aware about those things, it allows you to just, you know, see those things instead of being blinded by it because I'm just in it and I'm just allowing these things to go on type of thing. So I guess, like Mama said, having that community, having them parents, having people that's older than us around us, like, nah, sure, you tweaking, or you need to be aware about this, or if you're putting different things in front of us so that we can. But a big thing also was filling that void. As a teenager, you have a lot of time on your hands, and you feel me, especially with the way the world is today, a lot of the things that's, I guess, pushed up on us isn't good.
You get basically kicked aside if you're not that.
If you're not necessarily fitting these boxes of everything. So just learning your lane, learning what do you want to do with these things, and going for those things. You feel me? A lot of times it's inevitable, like I said. A lot of times a lot of things be pushed up on us, and then it messes with the mentality of our children because they're exposed to so much at an early age that they don't know what to do with it. So it is, as a child, you're curious, you want to see these different type of things, but being able to have that community, have that safe spaces to be able to go to somebody and talk to them or navigate these different type of things that allows you to understand it versus just, I'm just in it because I'm young and I don't know nobody. But we gotta get educated. We have to have community. We have to have fellowship, brotherhood, sisterhood, all these different things in order for we can fill these voids for these children so that they can be able to be exposed to things differently. If you're not exposed or if you don't know, you'll never know. So you got to have some type of initiativeness or proactiveness to want to know. So,
and just piggybacking up on that, again, I'll say like a real experience within me on how I kind of navigated from the crowd when I was younger is that I was on my computer a lot. So basically, it forced me to learn. So I was just forced to learn a lot. That was kind of like, and that type of learning was fun to me because it was learning whatever I wanted to learn instead of doing the school curriculum. I have my own curriculum. So it's like just giving them the ability to like have that freedom to like fly. That's what you need to try to give. Be truthful to yourself. Be truthful to yourself.
for sure. Conformity is a big thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Another thing, because like another thing, you gotta be safe nowadays because like if you do something like that, I'll say add more parental controls upon these electronic devices, just so it's more safer. Just because back then, like they didn't do that for me because I wasn't all on the other side of the internet, but
there's so much stuff
that's
sad.
What side? I thought only one.
Hey, look. Just going to these things on here.
Oh my God. It's funny because we're talking about things to take heed of or to remember or to reflect on. You know, this is a good caveat to lean into the second question, which is what's one thing you want people to remember after reading this book?
Something you want people to remember after.
I want them to understand, like
after they purchase it and then read the book.
Yeah. I want them to kind of understand that with this book, it's gonna help them navigate with the way they use plastic in their everyday plastic use, because such as the small things, like, okay, if you drink from regular water bottles, you're exposing yourself to microplastics every single day. So I want y'all to take things from that, the facts, mainly. That's what I want y'all to take.
Real talk. Yeah, definitely with the facts and like how we are being affected by these things. I think the book itself is more of just a tool or a vessel of the plastic and who we are and the work that we want to continue to do. So not so much that it's supposed to persuade you or sway you in a different direction or anything, but for you to question or maybe identify things about our own selves or things around us that we can't actually change. Identify things that's actually in our control versus the things that don't really matter that we always trying to control type of things. So I just like, I don't even think it's morally for you to remember something specifically about us. It's something more so about remembering the work or remembering that why or questioning that why. And you feel me, stepping outside of self and emotions to understand what is it that we want to do with, even if it's not even redemptive plastic, what do I want to do? And how can I change something starting with me type of thing, so.
I mean, you're right. I just want y'all to remember that the ball is in y'all hand. The player one is in control of the whole game.
My God.
It might sound like, but you're in control of whatever destiny you want.
For sure.
And whatever you want.
You control your destiny. That's the big one, man. Things we allow and enabling on a daily basis could eventually mount out to who we are and things that we're doing on a daily basis. So I think that's what I was going to say earlier about in this world, it's a lot of things revolving around conformity, and don't nobody really understand what these things mean or understand what it is type of thing. So a lot of us take this word influence and let that be our, our God, our whatever the thing, whatever that may be, but we don't really even know what this person doing or really how this affecting us type of thing. So just getting educated on whatever that is for you. How they make you move, you start moving.
Well, that's my last question.
For sure.
I want to open it up to the audience. I think we can ask, I want to give you guys at least 5 questions if y'all come up with 5, but the floor is yours.
For sure.
What's your most memorable moment?
In this.
Yeah. Within there.
I don't think I got one, cause like every time we got together, we always found something to laugh about. Even in the beginning of our work days or our fellowship days, we started off with like, how you been, where you at, just checking in with one another type of thing. So I was appreciative of it. But furthermore, I was just appreciative of the experience, the things I was exposed to. Like, we was exposed to a lot of different areas, a lot of places, a lot of different people. Just doing this work and then like just having those conversations and talking to different people, learning from them and them learning from me, just made me want to just continue to do the work, just continue to keep pushing forward. Because like, I don't know, man, I just feel like them experiences spoke value for me within itself because it was bigger than what's in front of me. It was bigger than just the hood, it was bigger than just, my family. It was bigger than that. It was more about the whole community, the whole world, you feel me? How are we contributing to this whole big picture type of thing? So the experiences, the people, like, I don't know, if I was to think about just writing a book before I even got involved with this, who knows what the book would be about type of thing. So us getting educated and learning more about these things, it just changed my perception of how I want to live my life.
Experiences, though, that's the main thing. Like, it's gonna open the doors for a lot of experiences as long as like you gotta be prepared for your blessings. That's another thing. People gotta learn how to prepare for their blessings. So as long as you prepare for your blessings, you're gonna love the experiences. I swear.
That's a real one too, bro. For real, for real. A lot of times we be having these stigmas, we be having these biases and naiveness to certain situations and certain things that it sways and control the way we look at things. So sometimes we just have to be able to open our hands to receive, be able to, take things in. I mean, of course you gotta be aware of what you're allowing in, but you do have to be able to receive. You have to be able to listen to understand versus just to respond type of thing also. So just being able to open these hands up to let it allow it to come in versus holding capital for everything. I want to hold things. I think about a few weeks ago at church, they was having a sermon about dropping your rocks. And it was just more about the things we hold on to, the mentality, the mindset, the things we just allow that to control how we move and how we look at things versus allowing these things to be let go so that we can receive from God, receive from, the word, receive from all these different things. That's a big one for sure, for sure. I'll be on you, brother.
Like you said, there's too many to count for real. I can't really put my finger on like the most memorable. But if I could say one,
in, and I really feel impressed. You all came in strong like an army. You all was so well mannered. You like, hello, say hello to me. You all just came in strong. I wanted to like, what's going on? So I'm glad I had a, thank you, Danielle, for allowing me to come to this program. And I learned, so I want to take back the information I learned and share it to other people over that organization that I know.
Appreciate you. Thank you, man.
I got a question and comment. Start talking more. Stop being shy. I used to be your way too, though. I used to be that way. I'm gonna tell you one thing, right? Say a joke to get everybody to laugh with you, and then that's how you get about your comfort zone.
He's not shy. He would be fine.
He's not a big speaker.
We are, we are who we are.
I would get nervous if I'm sitting like a panel. You doing an excellent job. I would.
That's Big Brother Mike, that's what that
We
is.
are,
That's Big
we're
Brother
not,
Mike.
we're not always
Hey, we're not.
They're very talkative and something, it's all right.
You know, that's the way I did it to, when I had to speak in front of people for Lori Hospital. That's how I did it to get about my, my shyness and a little scaredness, you feel me? Because I was speaking in front of 175 millionaires. So, I'm scared as ever.
Yeah, that's basically.
I'm just saying, like, you feel me, like, just to get yourself, like, more comfortable with just speaking, you feel me, like, try to be yourself first, you feel me, to get people to get used to you as you before you try, speak about other things.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I mean, like we've been saying, bro, just learning to own your position, own you, bro. Like, I be commending you for the amount that you talk. Sometimes I want you to talk more, but sometimes, like, I be appreciating that you intentional with your talk. Because, you get to the point and you say what you want to say versus me, on the other hand, I'm more of an extrovert and I like talking. Then you catch me talking in circles, talking about nothing. And speaking on what it is and what it isn't type of thing, so I'll go ahead, Mom, I'm sorry.
Some people, strength is in not talking.
Exactly.
And so you can't force something.
Right.
It's
okay.
But you can't force what isn't there. His strength may be in something else.
Right.
His strength may be in doing the work. His strength is the visualization. He can visualize everything when other people are speaking. So you have to look at their other strengths besides speaking. So allow him to be himself.
And with that, to me, that's speaking to this idea of process, because we all process things different, and the ways in which we respond to those processes is uniquely different. So that makes me want to show you guys a taste of what the process looks like for us to actually create the redemptive plastics products. So I'm actually gonna let y'all do it, so we can kind of point out some of the raw material that we gathered from 50 different breweries to the second stage, the third